Just Our Imagination is a collaboration where we will make something using our imagination out of 3 items: some sponges, some wooden eggs, and a ladle. Coldplay. So are you ready? Well, sit back, relax, and watch what I will make using my imagination. Hi, my name is Cindy, aka Z9Designs. Let's eat cake. The supplies include 3 sponges, spackling, food coloring, hot glue, and air-dried clay for some floral pieces on top of the cake. I could not figure out what to make from sponges. This kind of stumped me a little bit, so I was a bit hungry, so I made a cake. The problem is, I can't eat it. I cut 3 sponges in a square and just hot glued them together. I had a little bit of spackling left, and I added some water and some food coloring. And spread it across the top and the sides of the cake. And then I just let this dry overnight. Then in the morning, I made some floral motifs that would go on top. I took some air-dried clay and put it into a floral mold along with some smaller flowers and leaves. I removed them and left them dry, and I did not paint them. I left them white because I wanted a contrast between the pink. If I had painted them yellow or something like that, I just don't think it would have looked very nice. I removed the flowers from the mold and put a small flower and a leaf on the sides. And I'm telling you, this looks good enough to eat. But don't. I put it on top of a clear cake stand as a display. I put a little doily, paper doily underneath. So let me know what you think of this sweet treat. DIY number 2, a Paris Trinket tray. The supplies needed include a wooden egg-shaped piece. See, we were supposed to make something out of an egg, but it couldn't be an egg that you eat. It had to be a wooden-shaped egg or a Easter egg type of thing. A napkin, Mod Podge and dishwater safe Mod Podge, some wire ribbon, and 4 half beads. Now, since we could not make acorns out of the egg shape, I just decided that I was going to make a trinket tray. Now, I know I made a few trinket trays in the past, but hey, more is to come. I painted the piece of wood and plaster and set it aside to dry. Then I looked in my stash and found a pretty napkin that reminded me when I was in Paris. It had an Eiffel Tower, some flowers, and some other things that remind you of Paris. Then I removed the 2-ply from the napkin, laid it aside until I brushed the Mod Podge on top of the wooden egg shape. Then I laid the napkin on top and began smoothing it with my hand. And when it was dry, I kind of brushed off the edges. And then I put a coat of dishwater safe Mod Podge on top, so that if you decide to use it in an area where it may get a little wet, it will be just fine. And when you have a flat surface, smoothing it with your hand, I have not had any problems, but it depends on how much pressure you put on it. And then I hot glued the metal ribbon around the egg, and I use hot glue and E6000 to adhere that wire ribbon around the edges. And when I had to join the 2 pieces together, I just held those 2 edges together with hot glue, E6000, and some super glue around the edges, and then I held it together with a Dollar Tree clip. And then I let it dry overnight, and it looks fantastic. I also flipped it over and I glued some half beads on the bottom of the tray to keep it water safe. Isn't it lovely? And you know, I found the egg shape at Michael's and it was only 99 cents. And that's all it cost me. So isn't she lovely? Just Our Imagination is a collaboration where you make 3 must-use items. This is hosted by Kathy Jo DIYs and Rustic and Lace DIY. And the guest host is Craft Classy. So be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment on her channel. These crafters are unique, humorous, and interesting. And the link to their channels are listed in the description box below. In addition, there are other crafters that are showing you what they imagine out of the 3 items. And the link to the playlist is in the description box below. DIY number 3, a ladle Tealight holder. The supplies needed include a ladle, a Tealight holder or floral holder. So you need a Tealight or a flower. I use a succulent, gold spray paint, and a mold. Now this is a unique DIY, but I am sure there are others will have made a similar DIY because, hey, it's easy. Now I had a plastic one, but I returned it for a metal ladle because I could bend it, and I needed to bend it ever so slightly because I did not want it to break, because I certainly didn't want to go to the store to buy another one. It already had an opening at the top, so I didn't have to drill a hole in the top or cut an opening or anything. I just took it outside and sprayed it gold all over and let it dry. Next, I put some air dry clay into a floral motif and a rope motif. And then when I was finished with that, and I put a little cornstarch in there to help get it out a little bit better. And I took some wood glue and I adhered the motif to the handle. And then I used also some wood glue to adhere the strand of rope air dry clay to the shaft and let it dry. And then the next day, I just took it out and sprayed it with gold paint again. Then I brought it inside and styled it. Now, I styled it with a candle. First of all, yeah, you got to hang it on the wall. I did that. And then I put a candle in there. And then I lit it and turned out the lights, and ooh, it was really pretty. And then I decided, you could put a little succulent in there. I did that also. And how cute is that? I just love this. Now, if you have liked what you've seen, be sure to subscribe, like, save, and comment. Crafting is challenging but rewarding. In fact, they have said an art activity a month will increase life expectancy by 10 years. Well, that is incredible. Of course, one must exercise, get rest, and eat healthy too. I always enjoy encouraging comments. Also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Facebook. And thanks for watching each week. I appreciate all of your comments. And remember, joy is peace dancing, and peace is joy at rest. This is a Meyer quote. Okay, family, I will see you later. Bye-bye.